I'm curious about how you all get into character. Does it go from the outside in, the inside out, or does it vary depending on the role? As you start building a character, how do you find your way into it? Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah, we'll start. We're down here.
Well, the main difference that I've noticed in what is generally hard to do, I mean, after having an experience where I got to portray someone who really lived and got to have all of this, information at my disposal, was an amazing sort of, back to The Aviator again, was an amazing experience because I had a question about, the pathos of the character. What would he be doing in a particular scene like this? What was his experience with this specific person? What had he accomplished at that period? What place and time was he? What was his level of madness? Where was his, where was his head at that point in time? To be able to look through books and documents and actually find answers for that and not have to make that up as an actor was an eye-opening experience for me, because it made me sort of tag in and sort of click on to the realization that, wow, I can make up just as much bullshit about what I learned about this real person for a character that somebody gives me, you know what I mean? And it's been about, more as I've gotten older, the work of finding those stories if you don't have them, And oftentimes, of course, you've never led a life close to the character you're playing. You have no frame of reference whatsoever. But that's why the pre-production and the rehearsal period has been so much more enjoyable for me in these past few films, because you go out and you get to learn from real people who've gone through these experiences and somehow try to, even if you haven't had that sort of similar experience in your own life, you at least connect a certain emotion that you felt in your life to what that person has gone through and then make it become your own. But there are those, and I wanted to ask everyone here, just a question that I was thinking of. There is we all talk about getting into character and being in the zone and becoming our character, but at the end of the day, there's so many technical things that happen when you're making a movie. I mean, it's impossible not to realize that there's a camera there and that the goal of the scene is to accomplish this, and that, your character has to emote this specific emotion at this point in time. But there are those rare moments, and for me, it almost never happens. It could happen once or twice on a film, if I'm lucky, where it really does disappear, where it really, really does disappear, and you've done enough research as an actor, and you're comfortable enough in that skin, and for whatever cosmic reason, you're comfortable in that environment, and the crew's in place, the director's there, and all of a sudden you feel like this is really happening. You know what I mean? And I can never say that, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, that happens more than once on a movie, if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? Where everything disappears, and you're really speaking as this other person.
Yeah.
I find alcohol helps.
But it's true. It's true. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, it hardly ever happens.
It can't happen. You're too aware. You can't. That's why my great inspiration for screen acting are always babies and animals, because babies have that. They're just there, aren't they? They're not. They're just absolutely just there. They're not aware of the fact they're on a film set at all. And dogs kind of the same way. And they're brilliant. They're brilliant screen actors.
Dogs too.
And they steal scenes.
Well, they do, because they're real. They're just doing their thing, But it's impossible to be a conscious human being and let go of all of that. But as you say, rarely, once in a while it happens. And it's fantastic when it does. But